Well, good evening, everyone. Hello, Facebook family, and more importantly, hello, you two fellas. This is your girl, Bella, aka Linda, and I know it's been over a month, so as I like to say, ladies, I'm back. So, ladies, let's get right into it. Audience, I have a very good treat today, so I'm going to go a little slow. I'm going to say a little bit about these beautiful ladies and let them tell you all about themselves. We first have the introduction of the executive director of the Fulton County Library Systems, better known as the FCLS. Her name is Gail Holloman. We also have the executive director of the Atlanta Fulton Public Library Foundation, also known as AFPLF, Artie Sharman. I am going to let both of them tell you a little bit about themselves, and we're going to go right into it. So I want you all to put your literary hats on and remember back in the day when the library was our main source. Well, guess what, audience? It's never gone away. So without further ado, I'm going to start off with our first beautiful guest, and that is Gail Alleman. Hey, Gail, how you doing today?
I'm doing fine, Bella. How about you?
I'm doing fine. Thank you so much for answering the call. Gail, so let's get right into it. I would like you to tell a little bit about who you are, what you do, and why you do, and then we'll move into Arthur and we'll have a great literary discussion about the library.
All right. Well, I appreciate this opportunity. Um, it has been a wonderful opportunity working with Commissioner Hall all these years, and the things that she's afforded us in the library system. I'm sitting in the Central Library right now in my office, and it is in her actual district. So I just want to tell you, I'm a native Atlantan. Grew up right here, went to school all the way through my master's degree, and I have just enjoyed seeing how things have changed, particularly our library system. I used the libraries as I grew up here in the town, and I'm just amazed at having become a part of it all and seeing all these wonderful renovations. As you may be aware, we renovated now all 34 of our libraries or built new ones. We built a total of 10 new libraries, and we renovated all the rest of them, the Central Library being the final one. It just opened October 4th, reopened October 4th. And there's just so much in the library. It's not your old library, it's a new space where people can gather. And we want to invite people to come in and understand that it is a community resource as never before. Yes, the technology might be a little new, but we have people here to help you with it. And we want to invite folks to come to all of our libraries, all 34 of them, 73 miles long is Fulton County, and you can find a library to suit your needs.
Well, Gail, let me first start off by saying I applaud you. I was actually raised, I'm from Baltimore, Maryland. I was raised on the Enoch Pratt Library.
Pratt.
Gail, are you frozen?
I,
No,
she's
you're not.
frozen. No, I'm
Okay.
not.
Okay. Just wanted to make sure it wasn't me.
Hmm.
think it's been about 2 minutes. Let's give her.
Yes, I was looking at my phone to see if any messages have come through.
Gail, are you by any chance the host? Can you let people in?
I don't think I am. I was not told that I am.
Oh, there we are.
Ladies, this is
Hi.
part of television land. We never can explain, it's just a technical aspect. But thank you for staying on. The system shut me down. And there's Vice Chair Hall. All
Hello,
righty.
everybody. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
All
Everybody
right.
together, thank you for being patient. It's the system. I had a systems outage.
I had a hard time getting on as well.
So thank you, ladies. We're actually live, so we're going to continue. So we're going to rerun. I've got about a few people watching. So everyone, thank you for just being patient. This is live, and we do know things happen. So Vice Chair Hall, we know that you have a limited time. If you want to go ahead and say something about these lovely women before we had an outage, Gail was telling a little bit about herself, and then so was Arthur. But now you are here.
All right. Well, first, I did want to start off by, I want to always give information out to the community that they can use. And right now, my focus has been on the nonprofit organizations that serve our residents with pride and love. And they partner with Fulton County to enhance our offerings to the public. And so I just want people to know that for nonprofit organizations, 501c3, and our local tax exempt organizations, Fulton County's annual Community Service Program grants application process is currently open until November 20th. It closes on November 20th at 3 p.m. If you submit your application after 3 p.m. on November 20th, it will not be considered. So please go to fultoncountyga.gov and look for the Community Service Program grants. We award up to $100,000 per nonprofit. Um, I always tell nonprofit organizations, please go to the workshops that are offered by the Department of Housing and Community Development, because even if you have the best grant writer in the world, you still need to attend those workshops to know how to successfully complete that application, to know how we're scoring, what we're looking for, and all those other things that will help you be successful on the other side of that application process. And so please, again, go to fultoncountyga.gov for more information. If you have any trouble finding it, you can always email me at natalie.hall@fultoncountyga.gov. And the next grant that will be opening soon is the Contract for Services grant, where we award up to $50,000 per nonprofit organization. If you do anything in the arts and culture space, you can be a church, a university, a 501c3, any type of local tax exempt organization or nonprofit, and that will be opening soon. So look for that within the next few weeks. Also on the fultoncountyga.gov website. And I want to add a special caveat to the CSP program. I asked my colleagues and the county manager and county executives to add a sixth category. As you may know, our CSP grants usually allow a nonprofit that does anything in one of five areas to apply. That is youth, seniors, disabilities, homelessness, and economic stability slash poverty. But I have asked my colleagues and the county manager and county executives to add a sixth category called health and wellness, because I feel like through everything that we've gone through with COVID, as well as all of the diseases and illnesses that we are overlooking because COVID has just taken the forefront of our mind and of our world, like HIV and AIDS, we still need to focus on that, diabetes, and so many of those sicknesses and diseases that plague the Black and Brown communities. And so there are nonprofit organizations out there that work in the health and wellness space. and they need money too. So now we have added that category for the funding that we will be allocating in 2022. So all of you health and wellness nonprofits, please apply. And there's a little piece of extra caveat I added onto the wellness side of it. I was told so many times in meetings that if you are not financially stable, it will create stresses in your body that will give you sickness and disease. And so financial wellness is also a part of the health and wellness category that has been added to the CSP grants. And last but not least, I also asked the county manager to add a new type of lease for nonprofit organizations who do the work in the neighborhoods and in the community, and they want to literally be located near the people they serve, so that now they can lease space in county buildings and county facilities so that they can literally be located in those neighborhoods that they're serving. And we will not only do monetary leases, but we will do leases in lieu of services. So for those nonprofits that are enhancing the county services, we can work a deal where you may pay less money, monetary money, and more in services for the space that you're utilizing. So please, if you're interested in any of these offerings, again, fultoncountyga.gov or natalie.hall@fultoncountyga.gov. Now, on to the show. So I'm so proud to introduce these two ladies because they are awesome and amazing and outstanding people. You know, we recently opened our central library at 1 Margaret Mitchell Square, and it is an awesome place. It is beyond a library, and I'm going to allow Gail to tell you about that because I'm so happy to have Gail as our library director. It has been a long time waiting for that to happen. I worked with Gail when I was chief of staff to Commissioner Garner, and she was
Oh,
working on. Yes, Gail was working on all these library renovation projects, and her and Al Collins were like the dynamic duo. They were working on these projects and meeting with all the commissioners and all the construction and design people and everything. So Gail is the one to talk to. Gail Hunter Holloman was named executive director of the Fulton County Library System in January of 2020. And prior to that promotion, she held various management and leadership positions within our organization for over nearly 30 years with the Fulton County Library System. She provided leadership management and direction for the opening of the new libraries in Phase 1 and the renovation of others in Phase 2 of the library's capital improvement plan. The library system CIP has resulted in the planning, building, or renovation of 33 libraries, with the reopening of the Central Library as the final one. Gail Holloman is an Atlanta native. She received a bachelor's degree in journalism with a minor in marketing from Georgia State University and a master of library and information studies degree from Clark Atlanta University. And our other guest, and now this is awesome because I never really knew we had Atlanta Fulton Public Library Foundation. And Arthi Sharma is the executive director of that that foundation. This is going to be an awesome discussion about that. Arthi Sharma is the executive director of the Atlanta Fulton Public Library Foundation. She has spent over 14 years in public education and law, a summa cum laude graduate of the University of Georgia and an honors graduate of the Emory University Law School. Arthi has a passion for building community relationships to benefit historical underserved populations. She began as a teacher in Miami, following her expertise in the classroom. She represented court-involved youth in juvenile court and education proceedings. Immediately prior to working with Atlanta Fulton Public Library Foundation, Arthi worked with the Georgia Charter Schools Association and the Georgia Department of Education. During her time with the Georgia Charter Schools Association, she worked with school leaders of color to found schools in communities of color. Arthi is an active member of the Atlanta nonprofit community, working with Feminist Women's Health Center, Hands on Atlanta, Atlanta Fire and Rescue Foundation, and is an alumnus of Lead Atlanta. At Atlanta Fulton Public Library Foundation, Arthi oversees the organization's day-to-day operations, fundraising, and thought leadership. So, Bella, beautiful Bella, you have some outstanding guests today, and I'm going to let them take over because they have a lot of great information to tell your listeners about.
Well, Vice Chair, thank you. And we know ahead of time that you have to dip out. So dip out when you can. I've already talked to these lovely ladies. I am ready. So, okay, Gail, let's go because I've been a card carrying Enoch Pratt Library little since I was 9, Gail. So let's
That's awesome.
bring it back. Let's get these people back to the library. Come
That
on.
is
All right.
Well, I've been a lifelong reader, and I don't know how I managed to stay out of libraries as far as working for libraries as long as I did. I was in other fields, and then I was such a reader all my life, so it was a natural progression. But we are very excited about the fact that we are now at the end of the building project. And so now we're back into bringing everyone back in, letting everyone know that the library is there for them for all sorts of things, job awareness and assistance, resume writing, all the things that we can help them do as far as different classes that we're about to start again with GED and ESL, as well as GED testing. We hope that those things will start in place by the middle of November into early December. That was very well received many times over the years as we have put through those programs. We're also very excited about the fact that our virtual collections have done extremely well. People have stayed with us online. When we were in the midst of the high end situations with COVID, we went online with our virtual programs. People followed us. It was amazing. The county commission gave us millions more dollars to help us to make that happen. And that was very exciting for us. And we felt really proud of the fact that they had that kind of confidence in our abilities. We also had a situation where we were able to build our collections here at the Central Library and others. So it's just been a good time. When we went to curbside service before we actually reopened the facilities, the public stayed with us. So I want to say very much thanks to them, to the public, because it was a hard time. I mean, people who are used to being able to come in and use the spaces were not able to do so that way, but they still came, they still supported us, and of course they gave us their thoughts on where we were and when would we be opening. But we are open. I want everyone to know that now. As of October 4th, we reopened the Central Library, and we are really programming this facility, and we're looking forward to our One Book, One Read program that is going to be sponsored by our foundation, and Arthur can tell you more about that. But we're very excited about that. It starts in January, and we'll be reading a particular book in the whole county is what we're asking everyone to do. And then we will have the actual author with us in March of next year. So it's a very exciting time for us. And I want everyone to know that you're welcome, 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 and that we are here to help you. We're here to assist you. We're here to help you, whether it's job skills needs, whether it's training on how to use computers, whether it's you just want to come in and get the latest bestseller, or if you want to come to the classes and other things that are offered online, and that we will return to inside programming very soon, we hope. But due to COVID-19, we're not doing that right now. But we do plan at some point, we hope before the year is over, to resume in-person programs. But we still have online children's storytime programs, and it's just a fantastic time for you to bring your kids in, bring your grandkids in, and just see what's there in the library. Our facilities are beautiful. They have just been restored so lovingly, and you're going to see a consistency of look, and you're going to see differences between them in different communities. So I invite you to come and see just how your library is the same but not the same. And I think that people will find all sorts of new nuances that they didn't know. And our public art is another thing that I hope that people will come in and be a part of the spaces and view the art. It's kind of like an art gallery, bookstore. I mean, it's just a wonderful place to sit and read a while, stay a while, and just reflect for a while.
That's awesome, Gail. Arthur, come on in the room because I got to hear about this foundation and we can have a serious conversation, ladies.
Yes, I'm excited to tell you. First off, I just want to start out by saying thank you to Gail for wonderful, just sharing all of that great information. I'm in constant awe of Gail and her team and all the amazing work that they do across the county. It is no small feat to keep such a strong and large library system open and running well, and they do it gracefully day in, day out. So I have to start by kind of telling you, you guys were talking about your early library stories. I got my first library card when I learned how to write my name. So when I was in kindergarten, it was literally the first card I got. And I actually had the card up until recently when my wallet got stolen because
Oh,
I still
wow.
used it. Yes, I know. So, and then my first job was actually shelving books in a library when I was 15. So, the library and I go back pretty far. And I am from Atlanta, grew up here. So it's kind of rare to have two of us in one place at one time.
Yeah.
Um, and, I think my passion for libraries really stems from my upbringing. I grew up in a Black and brown community in Atlanta, and the library was a huge resource for me in terms of technology, but also with books and learning and a world that was much bigger than the one that I lived in. And it just opened doors in my imagination, even of what was possible for a young girl back then. And so that has stayed with me, and that love of learning has really um, is something that I still use as an asset to this day. And I want to make sure that we are fully utilizing the libraries as much as possible and invite as many community members in. As Gail said, they are robust community hubs full of resources. And I really see my role at AFPLF as raising funds to maximize the impact of the library, right? We see that the library already exists. They have so many wonderful assets, and we just want to make sure as many community members are engaging and interacting with the many resources that the library provides.
That's good. Now, I'm going to make a comment. I want you guys to make a statement because I'm just going to put it out there. I like to address the elephant in the room. Now, I'm talking to the Black and brown community, but I have thousands of people that follow me, and I have to make this statement. And I know we're still going through the pandemic. And I always use myself as sacrificial lamb, ladies. I know myself, I have not been going to the library as I used to in my formative years. I do have one daughter. I'm going to bring her in the room. Her name is Ashley. When I say that, up until her going to college, we utilize the library all the time. And there's been a lot of different nuances, I like to use that term, with the library, in such a way that you have them in the school systems, correct? You have the standalone libraries. So I want to let my audience know, although we're talking specifically in Fulton County with the libraries, this conversation is a general conversation in each and every state, because I have to say this, we just don't go to the library anymore, ladies, and we need to get back to that. So I want you to invite the audience to tell more about what you do, particularly why you do what you do, and offer it, because I know myself, I haven't been to the library probably in about 5 years. I came to a function, Gail, a few years before the pandemic, but the library offers so many nuances and references that I think you guys need to go over them again so people are aware, even though I know it's unique to Fulton County, there are libraries throughout the country. So, ladies, let's have a conversation about that.
So, Gail, do you want to go ahead and start and talk about all the different things you guys do, and then we'll talk about some of the unique things that AFPLF has plans for next year, maybe?
Certainly. You're right, Bella. We know that people have not gone to libraries, especially this last 24 months or so, as it once did. And once you get to be an adult, you've got so many other things that take up your time. But I want to encourage people to, take a class. You can go online and you can go to Universal Class, which is one of our online services that you can get just using your library card and take a class for free that you would normally pay anywhere from $89 to $149 for. You can come in and have your resume reviewed and assistance with it. You soon will be able to, again, attend GED and ESL classes, and also have your actual GED test taken at the Central Library. We're going to restore it at the Southeast Atlanta Library as well, so that you'll be able to go there and take the test. So there are a lot of opportunities there. You're going to be able to bring your children back inside to story times and other events, craft programs that we have, make and take programs. And when we were doing curbside service, we had make and take items that we would give to the car, the driver of the car, and they could take their books along with the make and take craft and go home and work with their children or grandchildren on performing the craft. We also have programs for all ages. We're looking really hard at programming for seniors, for grandparents raising grandchildren. And that's something that I'm very passionate about. I don't have any grandchildren yet, but I'm very passionate about it because I know of a lot of people who don't have maybe the computer skills and some of the other things they might need to assist children. And because of circumstances in life, they're having to raise their grandchildren. And so they want to be able to be, at the cutting edge of technology. They want to feel useful and all that and be a part of those children's lives. So those are some of the things that you can get at your library. The public library is here. It's not just go online. You got to be careful sometimes about the things you go online and pick up. When children are doing research, they have to be careful, all of us, when we're looking for information, because all the information out there is not good information. And so come inside and let a librarian or a library employee assist you with those things so that you know you're getting the best information from the best sources.
Yeah, and just to give you a little bit of, what AFPLF is doing, I think I completely understand you, Bella, right? I think people think of the library as a place for kids, right? For kids' books. And so you see a lot of young parents or, people with young children, grandparents, whomever, who are raising kids coming to the library. And then beyond that, it's kind of, people maybe don't engage as much. But the truth is, as Gail said, there are resources in the library from cradle to grave. And that is what I want to emphasize. The library is one of the unique places in our society where people can use it robustly from your entire lifetime, right? So there are ways for seniors to engage, for working individuals to engage, for young children to engage. It is really, truly one of the few institutions that can carry you and see you through your whole life in our community. And that is a miraculous thing. And we really need to talk about that more. And so what AFPLF has chosen to do over the next year, we have a few programs that we're kind of really throwing our support behind and working with the library to ensure that, they're well funded. One is One Book, One Read. That'll take place in March. We have the author of Cast coming in March to come speak to us at Auburn Avenue Research Library. The goal is that everyone in the county is engaging with reading that book over the 3 months at the beginning of the year, and it'll culminate with the author's visit. That event is free and open to the public. And so we are very excited. We hope that you guys will join us. It is March 27th at 3 p.m. at Auburn Avenue Research Library. Next, some things that we're looking into the future, but we don't have concrete dates on. We're looking to support a children's book festival sometime in the spring, and we're looking forward to funding that. In addition, one of the things that we had planned this year, but we had to postpone due to COVID, is a young professional and VIP night at Central Library. And we're hoping to be able to do that in 2022. I really want to engage young professionals as well as older professionals in the library, getting at exactly what you're talking about, Bella, right? When my kids were younger, we went to the library all the time, but now I'm working and I'm busy and I don't really see maybe the point in it. So really taking that group of individuals and reintroducing them to the library as a community hub, as a space that offers many resources beyond, when your child engaged in child rearing. So, I think we have a lot of work to do as a foundation, but this is where we're starting in the next year. We're really excited about it. I don't think we can hear you.
Do you hear me now?
Yes.
Yes.
I was on mute. Gail, why do we still need libraries? I mean, you ladies touched on the base. Bella likes to really emphasize. There's a lot of people following me. You know, we don't talk about. I categorize this as the literary arts, right? Literally, it's like an important piece of staple in one's community. I try to let people know they know I'm into a lot of little different organizations, the league. You know, it's just this leads to like senses with references and resources, and people just don't utilize them. So, Gail, you touched a little bit about it, but why is it so important, and what is the future of the libraries?
Well, I think, Bella, the libraries are very important to be used because there's a wealth of information there and you can get it for free. All you have to do is have a library card in good standing, come check out books, use it online, and just return the items, and everything is fine. Return them in good condition, someone else can then use them. I think the real essence of libraries, though, has to do with the fact that libraries can transport you. It can transport you from where you are to where you may want to be. It can transport you to Tanzania. It can transport you to all these places of the world that you've never visited. There have been conversations I've been able to hold through my life about places and things that I've not actually experienced or been to, but because I read about them, I was able to do and be a part of those conversations. It just opens up a wealth. It opens up the world to you, and it's whatever you want. If it's a cooking class that you want to take up, whatever it might be. If it's a cookbook you need, the holidays are coming. If it's decorating, if it's DIY because you like to fix on things, if it's working on a car, you can find it at the library, and that's what's so unique about it. There are very few places that anyone can go into and come out with something that might make a difference in their lives. That
Oh,
doesn't happen everywhere.
I get that. Well, Gail, I'm going to also play double advocate. You know, some people may say, well, Gail, I have computers, laptop, iPads, iPhones. Why would I need to come to the library?
Well, because sometimes those things break down. They don't always work. Sometimes you got misinformation out there, and that's why it's good to know what is good information, what are good resources. So yeah, you can do that. That's what I call shortcut learning. But that doesn't mean that coming inside won't broaden that. And that's what libraries can do. It can take you to another dimension.
Well, I like to always rattle the cage of my followers, particularly my followers who are going to rebroadcast this, Gail. And I think I heard you say earlier you have services similar to the Department of Labor. Am I right? And I know we're going through a pandemic. There's people who don't have jobs or people transitioning from entrepreneurship to whatever. Did I not hear you say you offer some of these resources at the library?
Yes, we can help with job searching. We can help with resume writing, all of those types of things. And we can also assist with someone starting a small business. We can assist them with some of those processes that are needed, point to the resources that are available to them, and help guide them through some of that. So the library is just a place, a wealth of resources. And what's also good about it is that if we don't have it, we're supposed to know how to find it. And so that's the good thing. We don't know everything. Don't think because we work in libraries, we know everything, but we're supposed to know how to get to it. And there's what we call interlibrary loan. And that means you can borrow something from another resource, from another library around the world, from a library on another state, from a college library. That could be a fee, but it's usually very nominal. But you can do what's called interlibrary loan to get resources and information. So just come in, ask the questions. And if you don't know the questions, then we'll try to help you formulate them so that you can get the answers.
Well, Gail, I'm coming down directly to you because I haven't had a library card since 2007. So I'm coming, Gail. Trust me, I'm
Well,
transparent.
that's a good thing. Come to
Yeah,
one of our 34 libraries and we'll hook you up, as the kids say.
oh, yeah. And Arthie, I want you to talk a little bit about the foundation because I'm thinking foundation, that means support, resources, funding. And I know sometimes some of these programs over the years, nothing directly to this current administration, but I know in the past, it's if you don't use, you lose. So are we in jeopardy? Are we fine? I mean, that's part of your neck of the woods. Am I right?
Yeah, so I do think, back to kind of why you should come to the library, I think part of it is the community, right? If you're at home on your computer by yourself, you're not getting out and you're not meeting new people, you're not engaging with your community. And so I think part of what the foundation does is really bring the community together around the library, right? We support the library through both fundraising and fundraising. So, fundraising in terms of partnerships that add value to the library's already robust resources, and then fundraising, obviously, monetary support that supports the programming that Gail alluded to earlier and the programming that I alluded to earlier as well.
Well, I know you mentioned early. Tell us a little bit about the One Book, the One Read program.
Yes, so we're really excited about this program. This is our inaugural year. It'll hopefully be a yearly program. The book that was chosen is Cast by Isabel Wilkerson. It was on the long list for, I'm going to forget which award. I can't remember.
Uh-oh.
The Pulitzer. Did she win the Pulitzer for that one?
Did
I
Or
don't,
was
I
it
don't think she
before that?
won, but she might have been on the list. I
On the
don't know.
nominated?
But it was an Oprah's book club pick. It was an Obama pick for one of his best books of the year when he releases that on his social media. So it was a very accoladed book. We are very lucky to have this author come visit us. So we are working with, of course, the entire library system, but specifically Auburn Avenue Research Library, where the lecture will be hosted. And they are helping us by developing a reading guide so that you guys at home can create your own book club with your friends, your family, your loved ones. There will also be book clubs at every single of the 34 library branches across the county. And so please come join us in this robust book. The book is about race in America and kind of talking about the Indian caste system, the rise of the Third Reich in Germany, and the race system in the US, and kind of the comparisons between the three. Is a very robust and very timely book for our community. And we really hope that we will be bringing people together to read and learn from each other, and as well as from the author.
That's an excellent book. As a matter of fact, my auntie, shout out to my auntie who's not on this broadcast. She might be, she's just not commenting. She had that book, Arthur. She came down and visited me a couple of months ago from Baltimore. That book, and I started reading a little bit of it. We have this pass along. So when she's done, she'll pass it along to me. But I can't wait to get my hands on it.
There are many copies in the library, actually. Yes. So I don't think that they've been processed yet, but they will be by the new year.
So when I come get my library card, I can get the book too.
Yes, you can come. Exactly. So come on down, get your library card, get your book. You don't have to wait for your auntie. You can get the book for free.
Wow. So I got a question coming up before we wrap up. We have a question that says, love the public neighborhood library. Haven't gotten an actual book in decades. All right. I love transparency. Are there still librarians? City
Yes.
is awesome as the library. That's Melinda. So come on in the room. Let's answer that question. Come on, ladies.
Yes, there are still librarians in the library. And resources galore. So please come, please partake of them. But yes, we have librarians, we have library support staff, who many of them have been in the library so long that we might as well say that they're librarians too, because we're all involved. They're great readers, and they're fascinated by the spaces and by the collections, and they know those collections. So come in and see what we can offer.
Well, in the last few minutes, I want to give absolutely your kudos, Miss Gail, and then Arthur, a closeout comment, whatever you want to share. We have so many people now chiming in. I know I'm an avid reader. I can be transparent. I don't read as much as I would like to, although reading is a pastime along with journaling. But I'm just happy, Miss Gail, that you have other resources there that I have to definitely come down and get my library card, get my cast book, Arthur, and keep it moving. But Gail, please, last comments, anything you want to part into the community, and Arthur, before we close out.
Well, the last thing I'd like to comment to the audience is to say thank you. Thank you for your continued support. And I want to invite you to come in, because if you haven't been in a while, you're going to be really, really amazed. And I think that's the thing. It's not just the space itself, but it's the fact that there's so much opportunity there.
Wow. Well, we got a question, Gail is asking from Ashley Bullitt. That is my daughter. I have to shout her out. How does someone become a librarian?
Well, you become a librarian by going to library school and earning a Master's of Library Science degree. That's how you become one. And you can come from any field. You don't have to have had any particular degree. We have people that have had all sorts of degrees, and they decide at some point to become a librarian. And it's a wonderful thing.
Wow, I never knew that. I'm telling you, I'm always amazed at new information.
It's a wonderful thing.
It's absolutely a degree program.
Yes, a degree program.
I
Clark
got
Atlanta University.
my mother should have heard that. She's gone on to Happy Heavenly Land a while ago, but God knows I thought she was the librarian because she was the master at the Dewey System.
Yeah, well,
come on, Audie, share some good nuggets and tell these people to get out, dust that stuff off, and get on out and get these libraries.
I know there are a lot of online programs now. Clark Atlanta University had one for 50 years, and Emory University used to have one, an actual master's degree program. So there are many of them online now. Valdosta State has one. And so just look around, and if you're interested, it's a wonderful career. I have thoroughly enjoyed it over 30 years now, and it has just been a wonderful place to be and a wonderful place to work and interact with people on site. The persons I work with, as well as the public. There's just nothing better. And you learn, as you're helping kids with their homework or whatever, when they come in, you actually learn. So you go back to school yourself. And I was always a nerd, and I love, reading and learning. And so it's a great opportunity, particularly for people who like to do those types of things.
Love it. Come on, Ozzy, close us out. Bring us home. Let's turn some of these heads. What they talking about? Whatever. Blah, blah, blah. Come
I don't know if I'm
on,
gonna
Ozzy.
live up to your hype, but I'm gonna try. So I would just want to say, really reimagine the library. I invite the audience to think about the library as a robust community hub where services are there, but also arts and culture are there, right? We are going to have the opportunity to hear from a world-renowned author on March 27th, and it's free. Come, enjoy it. I also want to say, our community is only as strong as we are when we work together. And that includes pouring resources into your community, including the library. And so you can always make a donation to the Atlanta Fulton Public Library Foundation at afplf.org.
Thank you so much. Listen, ladies, I appreciate you coming on. I have a couple of public service announcements to my team. And I told you, ladies, I want you to come back. I've got an idea in my mind where I want to have it interactive because I'm going to say it. People, let's get back to the libraries. We don't read enough. And then, get off of this. I know people say, do you have a Kindle? No. Do you like the audio books? No, because I like to have a physical book in my hand. It's something about turning the pages. And my aunt used to say that, my mom said that, and my grandmother. So it's pretty traditional. I love reading, and I know I need to read more. So I thank you both from the bottom of my heart. Ladies and gentlemen in the audience, take this and apply it to where you are. Libraries sometimes think it's a dying institution, but it is not. It is alive and well. But if we don't utilize the libraries, they will go away. Am I right, ladies? And we don't want that to happen.
Well, we really don't want that to happen. Check out fultonlibrary.org.
Love it. Ladies, thank you so much for having us. We'll have you on again in the first quarter with Vice Chair Natalie Hall. It's been real. Thank you for your services. We really appreciate that from the Bella Biz Unplugged.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye,
you.
ladies.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Now, before Bella Biz leaves, I have about 3 more minutes. I want everybody to know that I am back, and I'm back with a force to reckon with. Now, you guys know Bella. I'm always doing something on social media. And unless you live under a rock over the last few weeks and you haven't been following my social media, I understand that as well. Bella just returned from Tanzania. And I had the wonderful opportunity. Shout out to Ma Asa. If she's still on here, Ma Asa, I love you. I went with a group called It's Time for Healing. And I believe my girl is still in Paris, France. I'm not sure. But when I grow up, I want to be just like her. But I just want to take this time to publicly thank Ma Asa It's time for healing, along with Amani, who was our tour guide, along with the 23 brothers and sisters, my dadas and kakas, because I had the time of my life. What I posted on social media doesn't even match a candle, but I tried to at least image some of the moments that we have. So I want everybody who's following me to please stay tuned. I'm doing a reformatting, I'm doing a recalibration. I probably have enough material for an entire year, but I will be bringing back the entire 23 team of people to come on the Bella Biz Unplugged and share individually what going to East Africa, Tanzania meant to us. We went to 5 cities. We went to Dar es Salaam. We went to Bagamoyo. We went to Zanzibar. And we went to Arusha. And let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen, I would do a disservice if I attempted to try to tell you a little bit about this trip. So I really want you to stay engaged. I want you to continue to watch Bella. I'm coming with a whole new format. I just want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart. I celebrated my birthday, which was October 11th in Tanzania. Very sacred. It was very pure. And there is a creator. For those who are atheists and all different denominations, let me just say this. After coming back from Tanzania, there's no doubt in my mind that there is a God, whoever you call him, the creator. And I had the opportunity to see with my own eyes the splendor and the glory. But more importantly, I got firsthand to have an opportunity to check out our ancestors, where we've come from. And they're a humble people. And let me tell you, let me just say, it is a beautiful ride. So I want you to all stay in tune as I get it together. But I'm going to have the 23 team tour that came with my ASA. It's time for healing on this Bella Biz Unplugged. It was important for me to come back and say that today. I want my audience to hold me accountable, but it's all about Africa, baby. One Mother Earth. So I love you all. Thank you so much for following Bella. Please continue to do so. I have a lot of good information coming your way, first-hand information. So without further ado, I thank you from the bottom of my heart. I love you all. Continue to watch my social media page through Facebook and through YouTube, and just get ready because we are going to have some lessons on East Africa, aka Tanzania. So until we meet again, take care, everybody. Have a great evening. Be safe. Be well. Remember, COVID is still around, so protect yourself. All right? We don't want any wreckings. So without further ado, Bella's back. I'm glad to be back, and I'll see you all soon. All right? Bye-bye.